Hey, hello everyone. It's 𝗟𝗆 here from Echidna Sewing, and a big welcome to our final Cuppa and Chat, our virtual Cuppa and Chat for the year. And today's a bit special because I'm joined by one of our team members, Alec. Welcome, Alec.
Thank you.
This is your first Cuppa and Chat live.
This is my first time being in front of a camera.
First time in front of a camera, so it's not very nerve-wracking, is it? No, it's fine. We're just going to have some fun as we always do. So welcome to everyone who's joined us on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're from. Today we're going to go through some great stuff, a few new products, and also some of our Black Friday specials, because I know so many of you have already been on and kept us very, very busy with our Black Friday specials, because our warehouse has been just crazy, crazy busy. And you've been packing goods, and we've had extra staff on over in the warehouse just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. So anyway, we'll get to that in a moment, but I guess a little bit of a catch up on the year that was so far. Can you believe it? We are, what, 4 weeks from Christmas now, I think? Wow, this year has just flown. And I think, again, for us, the busiest year we've ever had, and the last few years have been super busy with COVID and people sewing and more people getting involved in craft and sewing and embroidery than ever before. So thank you to everyone who's supported us throughout the year. We really appreciate it. I do have a little sort of list here I'm going to try and follow, but anyone who knows me, I can get easily distracted and go off on all sorts of tangents, so I'll try and follow the list. But same rules apply. We've got a full team here helping us out today, so if you've got any questions on anything, please post them in the comments box, and one of our team will help out. And if it's a question we can answer live, we'll do our best to do that for you. So I'm joined here today with Nicole and camera guy, who we don't let his name out because he's an enigma really. So, but Nicole's going to let me know when there's a question, and we'll do our best to answer that for you. So please don't be shy with those questions. The first thing I wanted to talk about is we're wearing black shirts. Obviously, it's Black Friday, and I never really knew the reason it was called Black Friday up until recently asking my general manager, who knows pretty much everything. And he explained it to me, because my understanding, or his understanding, is that Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving Day, and it was typically promoted as the day that businesses in the US got back into the black, back into profit. It's when things started to kick along for them, and so hence this term Black Friday, which has now been very, very much adopted in Australia as a major promotional period. So it's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and there are some great specials to be had too. So we're offering some, but I think every business in Australia is joined in on this, between Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all those sorts of things. So there you go. That's what I understand Black Friday to mean, and I'm glad I know that now. I'll sleep better at night. And I have to say, this last week has been the busiest week of the year for us here at Echidna. So because we moved into our new warehouse just on a year ago thereabouts, and I
think it was the same month as Black Friday.
It was pretty much the same month last year. We moved into our bigger warehouse, and obviously we've streamlined things there. We've got more space. Although we're fast filling that, I can assure you, and our processes are better. But we've run literally 2 shifts over the last week just to keep up with the massive volume of orders. So I would like to say that, in talking about that, please, we do our best to get the orders out, and we're pretty good at it. But once we hand it over to the carrier, be it Australia Post or whatever carrier we're using, it's out of our control. And Alec, I know you're one of our key support staff, sales and support. You get lots of questions. Hey, where's my parcel? And
lots from Australia Post, lots from any of the Star Trek, all those sorts of ones. Yeah, got a lot of phone calls sometimes. And
it's fair to say, we understand the frustration some people have if their parcel's stuck somewhere in transit, and we do understand it. And most people are really good with it, but some folks do get pretty agitated, and there's nothing we can do, honestly. So please be gentle on our staff. If it's left our warehouse, it is out of our control. We can track it, and we will, but if something's stuck somewhere, then it's stuck somewhere. It almost always gets to where it's got to go.
99% of the time, really.
And we have insurance for things that don't go right, but just patience, I think, is a virtue at this stage. Now, speaking of that, I will just quickly mention that folks in WA, you would have probably heard the news that Australia Post regular shipping, that is sort of ground shipping to WA, has basically been halted for now because of all the issues with the rail lines and so on. Express Post is still working, so pretty much everything we send to WA now will have to go Express Post, but that will preclude some of the larger machine items.
Anything up over 22 kilos, I believe, we're going.
It's just not going to go there, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. This is a national issue, and it's affecting all freight carriers. So a big, sincere sorry for people in WA. It's going to be a bit of a tough freight delivery problem for you guys for coming weeks. I don't know how long that's going to last. We do have a little banner on our website that actually says exactly that. And I think we're doing free platinum shipping for orders over $75, which is definitely going to help the folks in WA, and otherwise it's free platinum shipping for orders over 150. So we are just trying to help you guys out over in WA for the time being because of the massive freight issues. And of course, there is also probable delays through the East Coast with all the flooding in New South Wales, and a big shout out to everyone who's been affected by that. So, you know, we hope you're doing okay, and you know, it's just a horrible thing when we see some of the images. And so our best wishes to everyone who's being impacted by that. Now, shipping dates also, we'll just mention, it is on our website, and in fact, I'll come to that in a minute, but I'll just mention shipping dates. For regular Australia Post, and this is their advice to us, the 12th of December would be the latest day that you could pretty much be, you know, reasonably certain that you'd get the goods before Christmas, and Express Post is the 16th of December. And as long as you, before those dates, you should be okay. But again, once it goes to Australia Post, we can't control it. So you understand that, I'm sure. Now, today we're going to run through some new products and our Black Friday specials, and again, answer any questions. But remember, if you want to go to our landing page, that's the page that has any of the information that we are talking about today, just look for that banner on our website, and that will take you to our landing page for any of the products that we're going to talk about today. So pretty simple to do. Our website is just growing. It's massive. It's a massive work in progress, always a work in progress, and we're just continuing to add new products. So always worth having a good hunt around on the website. So first, Alec, we should do a bit of a stock update, because we had new products released earlier this year from Brother, and obviously we have a lot of Brother customers. And the first one we're just going to mention is the new magnetic frame. So if you have a Luminaire, and I know there's hundreds of you out there that do now, you'll be waiting patiently to receive the new magnetic frame. So this is the new 240 by 240 magnetic frame, and it has just arrived literally this week. So this, and along with the upgrade kit for Luminaire. So that's the upgrade that will take your Luminaire 2 to Luminaire 3. They have just arrived, and we'll be starting to ship those next week. Sadly, the magnetic frames, whatever we've got in, it's not going to fill all our orders because we could only get so many. There will be more coming in before too long, in January, we think. So we will sort of release those on a chronological order basis. But the magnetic frames, this is the new version, because they've had the sort of rectangular one for a little while, but this is the 240 square, and I'm just going to quickly show you. This has the removable magnetic clamps. It's a really good system, and they just simply lock into place there. So if I quickly take this off, and take this off, and take this off, you can see this handy little gadget for releasing the clamps. You can see it's really, really simple. Now, it's magnetic, and a lot of questions about magnetic frames, be it this one for the Luminaire or other magnetic frames for different machines. Are they safe around your machines? Yes, they're perfectly safe around modern computerized sewing machines. They do have warnings. They have a pacemaker warning. So these magnets, I can't stress that enough, are very strong, and if you have a pacemaker, they can interfere with the performance of a pacemaker, so be mindful of that. They are also a pinch hazard, although this Brother clamping system is less of a pinch hazard than some. But I'm just going to remove this bit of fabric. So that's what the base looks like, and makes it super easy to hoop. So whether you've got a standard, this is just a piece of rubber-back curtain fabric. But if you had a quilt sandwich, it's really, really easy. You just simply slide your magnets on like that. I might take this one down here and slide it this way. There's little arrows that tell you which way it goes, and we'll put that one there. Hopefully that's in view on the camera. I've got to keep reminding myself of that. And that goes there, and then this one slides across there, and this one will slide across here, and these other two little guys there, and it clamps so beautifully, and there's none of that pushing hoops into place. Particularly for heavier work, it just holds it magnificently. Now, here's a quick little advantage on this style of magnetic frame. Let's say I was doing a continuous board or a long design, as the Luminaire now has the capacity to do very, very big designs. If I take off these guys, and I love this little tool for getting it off too, by the way. So Alec, we've got lots of people now own the previous magnetic frame, which is really popular. So this just adds another dimension, being a full 240 wide by 240. It gives you, what's that, 9.5 inches?
No,
so
that's 10.
10 inches, almost 10 inches, yeah.
Almost 10 inches, yeah.
Now, if I was moving my fabric, all I've got to do, if I pull this, I'll try and do it this way, I can actually just pull my fabric forward. No, I'm going this way. And you can see that the magnets will actually pull with it. And because I chose the worst fabric in the world to try and pull on that frame, because it's a rubber back curtain, so probably not the best choice of fabric. But if you've got a border fabric or something that you need to move along, you can just simply leave two magnets in place and pull the fabric forward, and you don't lose your positioning on the fabric, which is kind of cool. So magnetic frame, that's now available, and I know there's a lot on order, so they'll start shipping early next week along with the upgrade kits, which is magnificent. And talking of that, we'll just get rid of these over there, Alec. We're done with that now. You can have those. Deal with them. Thank you. It's handy having someone help me with this, because I make a huge mess when I do these events. So this is great. Alec being my assistant. Now, when we talk about the XP3, for those of you who have an XP1, I'll just reiterate this. You can upgrade from XP1 to XP3, but you will need the upgrade to XP2 as well. So you can talk to us about that if you need more information. If you have an XP2, Luminaire XP2, all you need is the XP3 upgrade to get right up to spec. And I think we do have a couple of XP3s still in stock before Christmas, but we're going to run out, and there'll be more next year. And I think we have one XP2, brand new XP2 that, when you add an XP3 upgrade, you have the same machine, and that will be a significant saving. So I recommend you contact us. Probably talk to Brett would be a good idea if you're interested in an XP, or Alec, of course. Just don't call him now because he won't answer. And I think we've got a couple of really, really low stitch count XP1s that would be a smashing deal if you wanted to get a Luminaire. So talk to us about those. We've got a couple of new models that have now just arrived. Brother have our replacement for the NV180. So for anyone who's ever looked at a sort of an entry-level embroidery machine, the NV180 has been an absolute rock for us, and it's been sort of starting from that $9.99 price point. It's a sewing and embroidery machine, and you can check it out on our website. But it's now being replaced by, what did I do with the machine? That little guy down here. You just pass me that one over, Alec, if you want. And so I just wanted to quickly mention, this is the replacement for the NV180. It's the M370. I don't remember the model numbers. There's so many models to remember. But the main difference is that physically it's the same machine, but it's a Wi-Fi machine now, and that's really the main difference between the two. But I'm sad to say, I think the days of us having that $9.99 price point for a sewing and embroidery machine, I think they're going to probably end with the last of the NV180s, which have just been amazing machines for us. So if you know anyone who wants to get an entry-level embroidery machine, or you want one yourself, or a spare machine, I think we've got about 100 of those left, and once they're gone, this is the replacement model. As I said, the only difference is really Wi-Fi, as opposed to only having the USB option on the NV180. So these are now in stock, right?
Yes, they're in stock.
So those, the M370s have arrived. And the other one that I'll just point to the back here, this is the F540E. They haven't come in yet, they're due soon, but they're replacing the F440. And it leads me on to a conversation that I just wanted to have briefly. If we grab all these hoops out, all these model numbers and things, it kind of doesn't make any sense sometimes. So what's the main determining difference when you're thinking about an embroidery machine? For most people, it's actually the hoop size. So I just wanted to point that out. We might start with the smallest one. So if you can hold those over there, Alec, and pass them to me as we need them. So there is a 100 by 100 hoop. Now, remember, in a domestic embroidery machine world, the hoop size is that they refer to is actually the embroidery area. So this is a 100 by 100 hoop, but the hoop itself is bigger than that. Now that's the hoop size for the little NV180 and the new one that we just talked about, the M370.
Yep.
Then they go up to what we call the industry standard large hoop, which is the 5 by 7 or the 130 by 180. So now you can see the difference. It's fairly substantial. So you've got a lot more embroidery area there. And this particular size, Brother was the first company to release this size hoop back in the early 90s. And it became, I guess, the industry standard large hoop. And that's what virtually all digitizing companies, when they think of a large design, standard large design, they think of the 5 by 7 or 130 by 180 hoop. So that takes you to the next level. And I'm just going to slide these along as we go. Then you step up, and again, this is the Brother range. It doesn't necessarily refer to other brands. Then we go up to the 10 by 6 or 260 by 160. And that's a really popular size because you're certainly stepping up from here, but you're not quite at that big, huge machine size. This is off the NQ3700 or the 880E.
Yep.
Is the NV880E or
the 880E?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is when you're stepping into these hoops is how they actually attach to the machines.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good point because these two smaller frames are off a clip-on type hoop mechanism, and you'll notice here that there's a steel plate and these guys clip on. Whereas once you step up to this size machine, even though you can still get these sizes, the hoop mechanism is a slide-on hoop, and you'll see it has a key here, and it just slides into a mechanism, and it is easier to use, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. Yep. Now, machines that have this slide-on hoop also have the ability to understand what hoop is on the machine. So it will automatically detect that this, for instance, is a 10 by 6 hoop, and it will prevent you from actually running over the hoop with your machine. So that's a kind of advantage. Again, something to consider when you're thinking about what machine to get. So that's your 10 by 6 or 260 by, and we'll move these out the way, and then we'll move up to the next one. So then you go to a 300 by 200. So it doesn't look a lot bigger, but it is. So this one gives you full 200 or 8 inches wide and 300 or 12 inches deep. So as you can see there, that's a significant one. And that's when you get into the Essence model, what's that, the VE2300 and the VM5200.
Yep.
So really popular price point for about $4,000 you can get. I think they're $4,000, are they?
Yeah, start with
$4,000 you can get a machine with a seriously big hoop, 12 by 8 or 200 by 300 hoop. So then, of course, then you step up into the 𝗟𝗟 and the Dream Machine range. Now we're going to run out of camera space there. So you're going much bigger again, and you're getting into all the smart machines with all the My Design Center and the ability to create your own designs on screen and do just amazing things. But this one is your 240 wide by 360 deep. So this is, what's that? That's 14 by 9.5, I think, 14 by 9.5. So yeah, massive big hoop, and just fantastic. 𝗟𝗟s are so popular, particularly the embroidery only version, because it gives people that massive hoop size with all the My Design Center stuff.
Yeah,
which is way cool.
Absolutely.
And Wi-Fi and just lots of stuff. Aim for a 𝗟𝗟. And now we move across then to your Luminaire size, and this guy's big. It's not even going to fit in the camera shot. So we'll do our best, but. Now this one is, I've got to remember, it's 272 wide, which is around almost 10 3/4 inches, I think, and a 10 5/8, if I'm correct. It's all written here actually. and 408 or 16 inches this way. So that's Brother's biggest hoop on the Luminaire. So that's probably the most determining factor when people think about embroidery machines. What hoop size should I get? And there is a question at hand.
We actually have a few questions just about the magnetic hoops and what machines they will work with. Margaret wants to know whether we'll work with her Stellaire, and Katrina her VE2300.
The magnetic hoop I just showed you will only work on the Luminaire. We do have another slightly different magnetic hoop for the machines that we just mentioned, the Stellaire and the Essence, or the VE, but that currently is only available in a 5x7, 130 by 180. There are, of course, aftermarket hoops available. I have some reservations about people using those unless you're very careful with them, and for fear of hoop strikes and needle bar strikes. But I think magnetic frames and hoops are becoming far more in vogue, and I've got no reason to say this. I haven't been told anything, but I can't imagine that it won't be explored further by the different manufacturing companies. So at this stage, the hoop I showed you before, the 24 by 24, Luminaire only. I hope that answers the question. If you want to talk about any aftermarket options, by all means give us a call and we'll talk you through the best options that are currently available and what we feel might be coming. So hope that helps. So that's hoop sizes. General tip, most people will agree with this. Try and get the machine with the biggest hoop that you can comfortably afford, because Alec, you do more selling on machines than I do now, and how many times have people come back and said, "Yeah, you were right. I should have listened to you. I should have gone to that model."
Quite often, yeah. Generally from a 6x10 up to then they'll step to 8x12, and they said, "Oh, I should have done that when I first."
And what we say to everyone, look, if you go home with a machine and you're not sure, and then you think within the week or so, you know what, I'll just make sure you try not to use the machine too much, keep the box, don't write in the book, just keep it all as new, come back, and then we'll get you out of that one and into the machine you should have got in the first instance, if that's the case. So it's all about, from our point of view, just helping you make those good logical decisions. So that's hoop sizing. I just wanted to touch on that. Now, the other thing I do want to talk about in today's world, and the Black Friday sales kind of push this home, is ordering online. And I've just been stung myself in a retail sense. And so it annoyed me. And I'm not going to mention the company, it was a different industry, but it annoyed me, and I should have been more careful, but I wasn't. I ordered a product online. It wasn't terribly expensive, it was $100 or something, but I paid for it on PayPal, and when I got to the end of the transaction, I thought I'd completed the transaction, but there was a big predominant buy now button. And to be honest, I was sitting on the couch watching TV on my iPad while I was doing this, so I wasn't paying attention. But I clicked the buy now button, and all of a sudden it popped up and said, "Oh, your additional bonus or bonus offer has now been billed and will be shipped with." Hang on, I didn't order. Turns out I hit buy now to something I didn't even expect, and to the company's credit, they accepted that I didn't want it, and that it was a little misleading the way the buy now button was there, and they gave an instant refund. That doesn't always happen though, because there's a lot of unscrupulous retailers out there and businesses that will use all sorts of gimmicky ways to trick you into making a purchase. So please be careful before you click the buy now button. And the other thing I would point out, a common practice in all industries, I say common, it's probably a small minority of people, businesses, but having products listed on their webpage as being available now, and you go ahead and you click the buy now button, then all of a sudden you'll get an email or a correspondent say, "Oh, look, sorry, we're out of stock of that product, and it's going to be another 6 weeks, but we've got this one to offer you." So just be careful of that. If you be sure that what you're ordering is what you're going to be able to get, and they have it in stock. It's a common practice called bait and switch, and good companies don't do that. And just be mindful. If you're not sure, contact the company, talk to them, be sure that they've got it, and that you're going to get what you've actually ordered. So it's there's nothing worse, is there? Like you order something, and then you're all excited to get it, whatever industry it's in, and then you get told, "No, it's 6 weeks away or 8 weeks away."
Just waiting for that email that's got your tracking details on it, and then you find out
exactly
they don't have it.
Yeah, so frustrating. Be mindful of that. And the other thing too with in our industry, and we talk about sewing machines for a minute, one of the biggest challenges we have, and Alec, again, you spend a lot of your day talking to people about deals and know what they need with their machine, and often because we all have special offers and bonus offers and so on, but very rarely one size fits all.
Yeah, I think it's probably near on 50 or 60% of the time when we're talking the deal and going through it, we tailor a lot of the deals to the customer and what they need, not necessarily what we've got on the website shown with their product. So I think that's a huge advantage for the customers as well.
Yeah.
Sure that when they get home, they're going to be able to start embroidering or sewing or overlocking.
Yeah, exactly. So we try and find out what it is you already have, what you need. And so if we've got a special offer on a machine and it might include, A, B, C, whatever it is, you might already have that. You don't need it. So don't think that you're locked into that. We can easily swap those things out for whatever it is that you actually need, because I'm a big believer in don't buy something because it's a deal. Like if you're not going to use it, it's not really that useful to you, is it? So talk to us if you have special needs and we'll just tailor whatever package we need. And I think, 50 or 60% of all the deals we do, it's tailored specifically to folks. So just be mindful of that, because we'll always do a fantastic deal for you, whatever that is. Sometimes you've got everything, you only need a machine. You don't need any bonuses, you just want the machine, and we'll get a great price together for you there. So that's that. And finally, if you're looking for something for a Christmas gift and you're not sure you're going to receive it or not, a gift certificate is always a good option. So we'll definitely get you a gift certificate in time. So if you're not sure and you need to drop a hint to someone that you just want to buy something from us.
Have you bought a few of them before in your time?
Gift certificates, I'm well versed in it for my lovely wife. So she would rather me go and buy something, I know, and she's probably watching now going, yeah, that's right, because you're too lazy to look around. It's not that, it's just that I always get it wrong. So I'd much rather just say, here, you go and get what you need. Guys are like that, to be honest. In fact, I reckon when my wife tells me what she actually wants, I find that so great. Like, it's just so much easier because I'm a guy. Terrible at buying presents. Not all guys are like that. I'm sure you're not like that, Alec.
No, I'm definitely like that.
Oh, you are? All right. Well, maybe we all are. I don't know. So gift certificates. Now, let's have a look at some new products. Most recently, we received a fantastic shipment of new fabrics, badge fabrics, because, believe it or not, badge making and patches are a big thing at the moment, and I know in the US it's a big thing with Embrilliance now having their Merrily software which creates badges. And in fact, if we grab this little kit over here, we've been busy stitching out a few badges. Now I'm going to go to the overhead camera here and show you. These are using badge fabric, so I'm going to try and get all this lined up here. Now badges are so easy to do. Oh, is that upside down? Yes, it is. Doesn't matter. You can see. They're so easy to do. And this edging around here, if I get that close, this is called a Mero stitch. Now, the software that we did this in was Embrilliance, and it was using the Stitch Artist Level 3, which has the Mero function built in. But Embrilliance also has a Mero a standalone Merrily, it's called, isn't it?
Merrily, yes.
And it's what, $200 and something, and you can create amazing badges. Now the reason it's called Merrily is because many years ago, in fact way back in the late 1800s, there was a company called the Mero Overlocking Company, or Mero was the name, and they created an overlocker for creating typically these round badges. Go back up there, see how this badge edging around there? And it's kind of like an overlocker, and it was called a Mero. And when we talk in the industry today about creating badges, we say, we need to use a Mero stitch around the badging. Those overlockers still sell. They're about $5,000, and all they do is badging. And you could not do on a Mero stitch that badge there because it's got too many points on it. But you can do it on the software, which is great. So on our landing page, if you want to know more about the Mero function on Embrilliance, you can have a look at that. But we've used the badge fabric. Now badge fabric, the reason it's good is it's a very sturdy, solid fabric. It's a twill fabric, so it has this lovely, I'm going to try and get that, maybe a different color, don't want black, maybe yellow might work. You can see it's got like a twill effect on it, or a twill weave. And it's a very solid fabric. It's beautiful to stitch on. It carries the stitches just effortlessly, and it's hard wearing. So this fabric comes in pre-packaged, the 17 colours by the way, you can see it on our website, but it's pre-packaged into 1.52 metre by 1 metre pieces, and 17 colours available now. And we have a question, so.
Rachel would just like to know, is the twill fabric suitable for edge burning with a soldering iron?
I haven't tried it with the soldering iron, but it's a polyester, so yes, it will, and it would just be a matter of knowing what temperature to have our soldering iron at. We'll mark that down as being something to test and put that up on the website with the product, some information about edge burning. But of course, it is synthetic, so it will react to the soldering iron. As it is a polyester. So it's very hard wearing, and you could use this for making bags, you could use it for anywhere you need a really nice, crisp, easily embroidered, solid fabric. And with 17 colours, it's good. It's a good range, and it's only $14.95 recommended retail for the metre by 1.52 metres or 152 centimetres. So in stock, available now, it's on that landing page. And of course, if you're going to have a crack at making badges, we also do have some free badge, traditional badge appliques and so on our website that you can download. And that's also information on our landing page. And we have another question.
Rachel has also asked, will we be selling the swatches for the fabric?
I haven't thought of that yet. We made these up when we got the fabric in. Kind of labour intensive. I don't know. I'll think about that. It's interesting that one that question's come up. So if there's a demand for swatches, I'm sure we can look at it. But it's very labour intensive to create these guys. We might speak to the manufacturer. They may even have something like that we could get from them. But the website, the colours are quite standard colours, and the website's reasonably good at depicting them, but of course, as with any computer monitor, you can never be 100% sure that that colour's going to be exactly what it is. We'll take it on advisement. You will, if you're going to do badges though, you should invest in some hot melt film. So this is the hot melt film product, which is a permanent adhesive product that we actually cut and iron on to the back of the badge. So if I go back up to top view, you can see that's got that glossy look on it. We've already applied the hot melt film to that. And if we were now attaching that badge, we would simply put that on whatever base structure we're going to put it onto, apply heat from the top using a pressing mat, because we don't want to burn our stitches, and that's a permanent adhesion. If it ever comes off, you can just reapply more and attach the badge. Some people will go around and actually stitch a running stitch around the marrow function there, right around here, to permanently attach if it's going to get pretty hard wear and tear. But that's all you need: badge fabric, hot melt film, some designs, and if you've got the Merrily stitch or the Stitch Artist, you're way ahead of the game. Otherwise, we have some free badge options on our website. So that is badge fabric, and this product here, by the way, I can't remember the price on that one. Do I have that? Because it was a late minute inclusion. I think it's hot melt film, $19.95.
Yep.
And that goes a long way, by the way, and it's a great product. So that's that one done. Now, I've also written here, just to remind everyone too, we have platinum pricing. Most of you are probably platinum members. If you're not, being a platinum member means you do get a discount on pretty much all the products we do. You do get your free shipping on orders over $75 and free platinum shipping on orders over $150.
Yep.
Except for the folks in WA at the moment, we are helping out by dropping that platinum, that express post level there, just to give you a hand. It's going to be tough for a few weeks. But one thing people do tend to forget to do is you get rewards points with everything you buy from us. And look, we had probably, it'd have to be close to $100,000 worth of rewards points redeemed last year. So if you've got rewards points, please remember to use them. They're on your account. They're just like using cash, and it's just a great benefit for being an Echidna Platinum member. They just accrue with every purchase you make. So
They do expire after a time as well, so that's why you've got to use them.
Yeah, please use them because I think they expire after 13 months or something like that. So, but yeah, they're there to be used. Make sure you use them if you can. Right, next thing we want to talk about, new product, thread. I love thread. In fact, the guys here, Alec included, get sick of me rambling on about thread.
No, thread's good.
Thread's good, yeah. See, he's learning. We love new products. So we have been on the hunt for a long time for what we call a polycotton core spun sewing thread that we could range as our own product. And oh gosh, 8 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, we got samples in from one of the manufacturers that we sourced. And we are now pleased to say we have a sample product and we're wanting you to help us. So hard to see, it's hard to show thread in all its glory on a TV screen, but this is a spool of our new Softlight core spun thread. Now, core spun basically means that this thread has got a center, and usually it's a filament type of thread down the center, and it's wrapped in a spun polyester, or sorry, a spun thread. This one happens to be a polycotton core spun thread. In other words, it's got a polyester center, but it's wrapped in a spun cotton. The benefit of that is that you get the strength and durability of polyester, but the sewability of cotton. Cotton, from your machine's point of view, is the best thread to sew with. It is not affected by static electricity. It cools the needle better while it's stitching. Now that's a big issue on industrial machines because they run so much faster, but it has a cooling effect on the needle. It has a lovely sort of matte finish that looks good in the apparel industry, and it just gives less slip stitches and less missed stitches because it's just a better stitch formation thread. So that's the benefit with cotton. And so we're now pleased to say that we have this set of 10 threads from this particular manufacturer that we've been testing for quite some time. Now, I'm not going to take them all out. Well, well, you can see it on our website, but there's 10 essential colours of thread in this set. Now, white, beige, a couple of beiges, there's a grey, there's a red, there's a green, there's a blue, and it's a 1,000 metre thread. It's a 120 denier or a Tex 24 thread. It's perfect for pretty much any sewing machine, industrial or home sewing. And the best thing is it's on the cone. Now, forever and a day, as long as I've been in this industry, particularly in the home industry, one of the problems has been when you have a cone of thread, of course, you can't deliver the thread. If you can probably just see yeah, you can just see it over here, guys. If you look, you can see that I can't deliver the thread sideways on a machine that has a vertical spool pin. So ideally, these are far better laid down on that horizontal spool pin, which most new machines have. But a lot of machines, a lot of the more entry-level machines, don't have a lay-down spool pin. They only have a vertical spool pin. So we've also developed this fantastic little thread holder. And we make this in-house. Should be able to see that there. And basically we sit our, whoops, I'm going to hold that up here. We sit our thread in there and we just hook the thread up there, and now the thread is coming off. So it's kind of like a little mini spool stand. And you can sit that beside your machine. If you've got a twin needle spool pin, you could stand it on there, providing that it's not too thick and fat. But great little product, really, really simple, made in-house. I think they're about $10 or something. Yep. So on our website, have a look at it. But that's just that came as a result of us getting our own range of this thread in. So back to the thread, 10 colours. They're going to be $6.95 retail each. What we're doing right now is this pack of 10 we are offering as a Black Friday deal, if you like, for $35.95 for the whole pack, and that's 40% off. So we're doing 40% off this thread, but we want you to help us. We want the feedback. We want you to tell us whether you think it's good, bad, or indifferent. We think it's great, but we'd like your feedback. Because if it is, and it lives up to the expectations we have, we will increase this range substantially. And obviously, we'd like to know that we're on a winner before we do that, and your help would be enormously helpful. So what we'll do is, if you buy one of these packs, we'll send you an email at some point in the future just saying, hey, what did you think? And we'd like some really honest appraisal on it. So far, we've had nothing but great reports on it. So, another question?
And we'd like to know how the thread will go with lace making.
It should be pretty good. Like, we do sell the mercerized cotton as well, which we've got a mercerized cotton there. We don't have one, but we do have mercerized cotton, which will be a little bit smoother, if you like, because of the mercerization process. But cotton for lace making gives a nice soft hand to it. So it just has that matte finish. And whilst I haven't tried this on lace making, I'd be really confident it'll be fine. Remember, with cotton though, you don't have the same color fastness that you have with 100% polyester. But I think, to be honest, for lace making, cotton is a really nice effect if you're happy with that matte finish, and providing you don't bleach it or do anything silly like that, it'll be quite good. Another question?
Patricia would like to know whether this can be used for embroidery or just sewing.
Look, again, it will be okay for embroidery. It's going to be a matte finish. The other disadvantage, there is a couple of disadvantages with cotton though. It will give you a bit more lint in your machine, so you do need to clean your machine more frequently because cotton will leave more deposit. It will have a matte finish, and it won't have that nice high sheen that you're going to get out of an embroidery thread like a rayon or a polyester. I personally wouldn't probably do too much embroidery with it. Other than maybe the freestanding lace, which would be quite stunning if you were to do that. So at any rate, we do have these in stock. It's a limited range, a limited time for this special, and as I said, we'll be asking your opinion on it as we after we've got it out there. And the range that we would end up going with is going to be quite substantial and priced well. So $6.95 recommended retail for 1,000 meters of a high quality polyester cotton core spun thread on a good cone is pretty good. So exciting. So that's now come. Now, the same manufacturer and in the same color range, we now have there's one open there, isn't there? We now also have a...
That's not it.
Oh, that's not it. Yep, I've got the wrong one. I got one open here, black one. We now have a heavy duty thread. Now, this is a 210 denier polyester UV resistant heavy duty sewing thread that you can use on your home machines. In fact, I could run it on this NV50S here, which is, like only a $500 machine, but you can run it on a home machine. Great for industrials, great for doing heavy duty work like bag making or making cushions or boat covers or boat cushions. You could use it on sage shales, you could use it anywhere that you want strength, because I can tell you right now, if I try to break this thread, I will cut my fingers. I can't. I could, but I'd actually cut my finger, and I don't want to do that because it hurts. So that's it in its packaging. We've called it, it's just polyester heavy duty thread, and we've specifically got this in because the amount of customers that look for heavy duty thread that they can use to do those things around the home.
Yep. Especially bag making. Bag making is huge.
We've got a lot of bag making at the moment, and it works great. If you've got a Brother PQ1500 or a 𝗀𝗍𝗺 TL machine, or well, any machine for that matter, because it works, but they're particularly useful on there for giving you that heavy duty thread. And there are 10 shades in that, and the best thing about it, it's only $16.95 for the, what size spool is it? I think it's 1,200 meters, so great value. And available now in store. So get hold of that if you're thinking of doing any heavy duty thread sewing. All right, so what have we got next? Question.
Judy would just like to know, is there a way that you can easily store those threads tidily in the cupboard? So
yeah, look, we sell thread nets. I don't have them on the landing page, but I'm sure we have them in stock. I hope we have them in stock. So the thread nets just slip over there and they stop it all unraveling, and we usually do have them. So just put in thread nets into the search bar and you'll find them.
We've definitely got them in stock.
Definitely, Alec. Yeah, see, he knows.
I picked a lot this week.
Oh, okay. So, oh, that's right. You've been over in the warehouse, so you would know. So thread net's a great way to do it. Yeah. Okay, one of our favourites, of course, and what everyone was asking about is, are we doing a Black Friday sale on Hemingworth thread? And the answer is yes. So you probably already know that. We've got 40% off the Hemingworth range of threads, and that goes across the 1,000 metre cone with the cap system, the cap and spool system. the 5,000 metre threads, which, did we have one here? Actually, might be one in the drawer behind me, maybe not. Don't have one here. The 5,000 metre thread, which is the same thread but not with the cap system. Now, for those of you who don't remember, if you're new to Hemingworth, if we can get the camera guy to go to top view, Hemingworth has the spool on it. So you can see this one has been opened. I've got the thread coming out just here. If I take that little silicone cap off, the thread can come out at any angle and it gives you perfect delivery on the machine. The cap protects the thread, and when we're finished with it, we just put the little silicone stopper back in the top and grab our scissors, trim that excess thread, and it will not unravel. So we had that question before, is how can you store thread so it won't unravel? Hemingworth is the perfect storage solution for that. So these threads right now come down to
$4.15.
$4.15. They're normally $6.95. So great deal on Hemingworth thread. Now I know we've been packing a lot of Hemingworth thread.
A lot.
Because we started this promotion on Monday for our Platinum members, and we were prepping for Black Friday 12 months ago because we know how much thread we sell during this promotion. So 300 shades in the range. Now, of course, there is a colour card. Yeah, that's what I'm after. What I do recommend everyone, if you've decided to sort of stick with one brand, and Hemingworth is that brand, hopefully it is, it's worth investing in the colour card, the Hemingworth colour card. Now I have to tell you, these are ridiculously expensive to manufacture. They're all handmade essentially. There's no way of automating this process, but all 300 shades are there in actual thread colours. It's a great way to do your colour matching. It's a great way to know what you've got and keep on top of your range. These colour cards, I think are they still $29.95?
Yeah, retail, yes.
And you get a platinum discount on that, of course, but I do recommend getting one because they are sensational. Now you've got something there. You've got the thread set.
Yes, the 15 thread set.
Now, I reckon if you've never had Hemingworth before, or you're new to embroidery and you just need some embroidery threads, this is a great starting point, isn't it?
All the basic colours included, white, black.
And they're all listed on the top here.
Yeah, yep.
So if you go to our website, you can actually see this product, but you get 15 pretty essential colours. And what price are they?
Ooh, what do we bring them down to?
That's down to there. Should be, oh, it's on my list here. I think it comes down to $62.55 for the set. So that's about the same price as these individually, but it's already pre-packaged for you. You get the handy storage box, and in fact, I think we send out the handy storage box, this box here, with any pack of 10 or 15. Any pack of 15
yep.
threads, yeah, so you get the storage box with it. But that is a great way to start. It just gives you a good range of colours. And we have a question.
We just have a few people who are interested in how you're actually using the thread with the cap. I wonder if you could just quickly
let me there is a good video on our website too, by the way. We should put that on the landing page if we can, showing you in detail. But let's have a look at the cap system again, and let's bring this machine over here a bit. Maybe the camera guy can go from the top. Now this is of course not an embroidery machine, but it doesn't matter, the process is the same. So there's our spool, and we have the clear cap. If we take that off, in fact I'll take that right off. So there's our spool of thread. Hey, here's a little tip too, by the way, folks. See how it's hard to see, but there's a big wad of thread there. Avoid doing this to thread, because all you do is take the twist out of the thread and it becomes problematic. So I've seen people wind 5 meters of thread back on a spool. You're just going to have problems with that 5 meters because the twist will be gone. So anyway, when you get a new spool, you open it, take the plastic off, the wrapping off the thread, and you just drop the thread down through the cap. Again, we have a video that shows all this. So the thread's now coming through the clear cap, and then I clip the cap back on. When I'm storing it, I just put the little silicone stopper, I go into here, into the top, and that pinches the thread that's hanging out. You can see that there, maybe. Yep, pinches that thread, won't unravel, the thread won't get tangled, you're not touching it, it's not getting contaminated wherever you're storing it. When you're ready to use it, take that little silicone stopper off, and on this machine, I would just put the thread down there like that. Now, you know how most machines have a little lead off or a little cap that covers the spool when they're laying down here? You don't need to use that when you're using a Hemingworth thread. Just sit the thread in the well and thread it as normal. When you're finished with it, take it off, put the stopper back in, cut off the excess thread, and remember, always pull your excess thread that's been left in the machine through the machine, not backwards through the machine, because that's the surest way to get thread caught in your tension assembly. So I hope that answered the question for those folks. But again, loads of videos on our website. Watch the Hemingworth video, it's excellent, and it does give you a really good rundown on how to use that. And with 300 shades in the range, it's just an awesome range of thread, and
it's so much easier for the warehouse to pack.
It is, because the way that we actually have these supplied. So 300 shades in the range. Now, so you've got the 15 pack, but we also have this. If you're wanting to drop a hint and you want a nice range of Hemingway thread and you need a Christmas present and someone's wondering what to get you, there is this beautiful set here, which is 64 spools, and it's a combination of 61 colors, and we've labeled these with the nearest brother color match. So it's essentially the same range that is the standard brother palette in their machines. Now this is the top layer, and if we just carefully lift this up, you'll see there is another layer underneath. And you've got, I think there's a double up of black and white.
Yep.
And there's also a black and white bobbin thread in this whole set. So it's a great set, and this is a smashing buy at the moment because it's down to $239.40. That's $3.74 a spool. That's amazing. So if you wanted a great range of threads to get you started, wow, that's fantastic value. So pop that back over there. And the other one, and we might just get this board up on screen because I don't have it pictured here, but we also have the Hemingworth thread cabinet. So that's it in all its glory. It is holds all 300 shades of thread with a numbering system. So you've got like a cataloging system on the front of each drawer. The drawers are on steel runners. So you get your whole thread range in there, and you've got 15 positions available to have a few other threads in there if you want. Incredible piece of furniture, the best, most economical way to store your threads in a sewing room. And we have that full of thread. So that's the cabinet, which has they're $749 retail. And the full range of thread is only $1,749, and that includes shipping.
Does include shipping.
So wow, that's incredible. If you read some of the reviews on that product, and I often see Facebook posts where people are saying, oh, it's the best thing they've ever got. It's just made selecting your thread so much easier, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the Hemingworth product. As I said, we got the 5,000 meter, which is sort of kind of annoyed I didn't bring one in with me. I can't believe that. Don't know where one is in this film room. There might be something in the bottom here. Oh, here we go. Woohoo, there. Found one. There's your 5,000 meter spool. And we've got these down to a crazy good price of
$8.95.
$8.95 for 5,000 meters. Now they don't come with the plastic cap, and despite my best efforts, I couldn't make it fit. So no, just joking. So they don't come with a plastic cap, so you do need to store them as you would normally any thread, but it's great value, same quality thread, and it's 100% polyester, of course, guaranteed color fast, and will last you just forever. So, I mean, thread, of course, does have a bit of a shelf life, but if ever you have a spool of thread, a spool of polyester that is not performing the way you want it to, just give it a soaking of silicone. It'll come back to life. It really will. So that is a great deal. And there's the full set of 61 shades.
Yep.
That's and it's the same color range as that other brother sort of Hemingworth thread set we had before. It's the same color range. That full 61 set comes down to the equivalent of $7.85 per spool for 5,000 meter thread. So great deals on Hemingworth at the moment, so definitely get in and get some of those. And I think also was the water-soluble thread in the promotion as well. Can't remember.
Can't remember that one.
Didn't see it there. Might not have been. But we do have a Hemingworth water-soluble thread too. So check that out on our website.
We've got that right here.
Hemingworth, so we just covered that. The soft light metallic threads. Now we have the soft light metallics are amazing, And there's 52 colours in the range, which is sensational. I think the biggest range of metallic threads available on a large spool format, so they don't tangle as much as the small spool formats. There's about 5 different variegated colours. They look beautiful. This is a if we go up to the top, this is a variegated colour. And I love the names of these guys. So when you see it on the website, like this one's called, and this is a good feature, the actual information is in this little card, and that tells you the name of it. You can actually write on there when you purchased it and where you got it from. And this one's called Black Fantasy. And when what I do is that then goes back into the spool, so you leave that in there forever, and you always know what colour it was. So, and they're down to $11.95 for 1,500 metres. And we're going to show you a sample a little later on that has used soft light metallic threads. So fantastic. We have a question there.
Katrina would just like to know, what needle do you recommend to use with the metallic thread?
So with the soft light metallic threads now, I'm talking mostly with the Brother machines, because that's obviously where we're at. I generally have a crack with the 7511 embroidery needle, and generally speaking, that's good. A little caveat on that. So if you've got a design that is really dense and pinching and you know, it's a challenge for the machine, then I will sometimes go to a size 90 needle, embroidery needle, because that's got a slightly bigger eye and a bigger groove to actually protect the thread a bit more. But generally speaking, a 7511 embroidery needle, I don't use a metallic needle when I'm embroidering. I just don't, and I find they cause me more problems than they're worth. The eye is too elongated for embroidery, and it does cause missed stitches and shredding. So that's my experience. Now, what I say to everyone, if you've tried something on your machine and it works, keep doing it. Like, you know, there's absolutely no right or wrong here, but that's our experience, is a 7511 needle. I'm going to talk about needles in a few moments as well. So metallic thread, soft light metallic, I love it, and the colour range is just exquisite. And another little tip with metallics, people, I mean, you've seen it, Alec, because I've got to say, you also do a lot of the techie work, so you've learned how to be a technician as well as sales, and sometimes you see people who do their whole design with metallic threads. And it's not really designed for that. It's really hard for the machine to do because it just builds up.
When you see them, it's stitching over itself, you know, 3 or 4 times. It's like,
yeah. Because the metallic thread is metal film. And so use it as a highlighting thread.
Yep.
And but not for the whole design. It's just, that's not what it's designed for. Highlight with metallics. So so that's the soft light metallic, and of course the soft light mercerized cotton. We've got that on sale too, which I don't have a spool here, but it's on the landing page or on the Black Friday specials for $11.95. And we mentioned cotton. That's a great thread for doing your lace, freestanding lace with, because it's just got such a lovely hand to it when you wash out the wash away. Question?
So I'll just confirm the water soluble thread is on sale.
It is on sale. Good. I didn't want to say that till I knew for sure. So we do have the Hemingworth water soluble thread, which is great for basting and piecing and so on, and anywhere where you do need the thread to wash away. It's great for playing a trick on anyone who you want to make their swimmers out of that. And no, just joking. But it does wash away, and it is a what have we got? A 900 meters water soluble thread. Don't confuse it with your sewing thread, right? Because it will wash away and it will disappear. Another question.
Rachel has asked a question. I think this might be in regards to the poly cotton.
Yep.
She just wants to know, do we need to adjust our bobbin tension?
Generally speaking, if you've been, assuming you're sewing with it, if you've been using Resant or any good quality sewing thread, it'll be the same as that. So it's just a standard I can't remember what size, what to do with that spool. What did I say it was? A 120 denier. So that's a very standard sewing size thread. You would not need to adjust anything if your machine's already using standard sewing threads. Yes, another question.
What is mercerized cotton best used for?
Mercerized cotton it's primarily going to be an embellishment thread. It's a cotton. Mercerized cotton is not necessarily a very strong thread, not in the configuration we bring it in. It's a 50 weight thread, so it's a little bit on the finer side, meant to be that way. We bought it in specifically as that matte finish embroidery thread where you want a handmade kind of heirloom type of look. It's beautiful for heirloom stitching. It's beautiful for ornate heirloom type of embroidery designs. It's great for lace making, and but you wouldn't use it as a construction thread because it is not a particularly strong thread. It's an embellishment thread. Remember, if you're going to use cotton as an embellishment thread, given the nature of that, you're doing more stitching, more ornate stitching, you do need to clean your machine out a little bit more often to get the cotton lint out, because all cotton will lint in your machine. Hope that answers that. Another question?
Sorry, Rachel actually has confirmed it was for the heavy duty thread. Does she need to adjust her
You
tension?
could do. So you want a similar tension to what you would have on your normal thread. So you won't know until you put it in and feel that come through. I did just run it on this NV50S just prior to setting up here for today, and if I had time I will stitch it, but I had to make no adjustment on my bobbin thread, and this is just a standard sewing machine. And I ran my needle tension, I think I've got it up at 5, so I tightened the needle tension ever so slightly. I did put a size 90 jeans needle in to do what I was doing, and that's probably more important. You wouldn't want to try and run that thread on a universal size 80 needle. It's too thick. The eye on the universal needle will not be large enough. I would generally recommend running a jeans denim needle, or if you're doing leather, you can get a leather point needle, at least a size 90 to have a facilitating eye. Even a top stitch needle would work fine, and it's more about the eye of the needle that's more important. Question.
Anne has actually asked if we can please show how easily the soft light metallic thread breaks when you try and break it with your hands.
We got one open. Let me just see what we got down here. We might have a soft light. Yeah, that is a soft light metallic. This is a red one. Metallic thread is a little bit weaker. So here we go. Yes, so I can break that relatively easily. But remember, it's not designed to be anything but an embellishment thread. Going back many years, we used to see metallic thread that was very gnarly and wiry, and it was quite strong, but the strength wasn't necessary. We needed subtlety in the thread, because the wiriness of a metallic thread is what causes all the problems. So suppleness is important. Don't expect strength out of a good quality metallic thread. That's not what it's designed for. Another question.
Glenda has said that she's been told to only use Resent for patchwork style sewing. Would the cotton thread be a suitable?
It's essentially the same type of thread as Resent. It's a polyester cotton core spun thread. I'm a Resent fan, love it. It's a great thread. I don't like the cop. If I'm truthful, that's a standard Resent cop, and that's 1,000 meters. That's 1,000 meters. I mean, we'll still always recommend and suggest Resent's a great thread, because it is, but this is essentially the same construction. It's not made by Resent. They have no affiliation. It's a different manufacturer, but it's a polycotton core spun thread, and this is a polycotton core spun thread as well. So either way, you could go with either thread, it'll be fine. And incidentally, these are the thread nets we talked about, if you're wondering. So thread net just sits over there. So where's that black thread I had there? So this is the black heavy duty thread, and it is slippery because it's a polyester. So you can just pop that thread net on there, and that will stop it from unraveling. And they're really useful. If you haven't got thread nets, you should definitely get some. They're one of the most useful things you can have in your sewing room. So I've now covered the threads. Let's talk stabilizers just quickly for a minute. So we're looking for great deals for Black Friday. We'll go through them right from the top here. Now, one of the things that people often don't have in their sewing stash is a black stabilizer. So we thought we'd offer that. This is the black see-through, non-fusible cutaway. So it's a see-through cutaway. So it's got a little bit of a translucence to it. And sometimes when you're on a dark fabric and you're embroidering with lightish colors, you will see little bits of white, and particularly if you haven't changed to black bobbin thread, or you'll see sometimes if you are on using a light colored white stabilizer on a black fabric, you'll see little bits of whiskers of the white stabilizer come through the fabric, and it can be just really off-putting, and it's not what you're looking for. So having a black stabilizer in your stash is handy. This is a great product. It's the see-through non-fusible cutaway, and it's normally $39.95. It's down to $23.95, so 40% off that as well. So that's fantastic, and that's a 20-inch by 10-yard roll. So one of those things, you won't use a lot of it, but when you need it, you'll be very thankful you got it. Then we have, let's go through I guess the 4 basics, the most important stabilizers every stabilizer stash should have. And we've got I'll keep talking because camera guy has got to change a battery. So next one here is the Echidna SuperSolve. Now this is the topping. So when we talk about the 4 most important toppings, and you would have learnt this right at the get-go.
Right at the start, yep, absolutely.
Wash away, tear away,
soft away,
cut away, and a topping. So the topping, probably the most common one is your SuperSolve. This is the like a plasticky film that washes away in water. We use this on the top of towels. Anywhere where you don't want the stitches to be embedded or sink into the fabric and you want them to sit a bit prouder, I would use a topping on virtually anything I do, particularly when I'm doing small lettering or any monogramming. So that's down to only $14.95 for Black Friday. So that's a 20-inch by 10 yard roll. We have our standard everyday, you'll always use it, cutaway. It's this medium cutaway. And this one here is a staple in anyone's embroidery world. And this guy is also, it's down to $17.95 a roll. So that's your 20-inch by 10 yard roll. And then we have the wash away. So if you're doing lace making or I would use this on the back of towels. I would use it anywhere where I don't want stabilizer to remain in the design after I'm completed it, because it will wash away, but it's beautiful and stable to stitch on, and perfect for lace making, of course, or freestanding designs. We use it for badge making as well, because it's the base for our badge making, and this is down to $23.95, so that's sensational. Do keep this in a non-humid environment, same as the SuperSolve, because obviously they're affected by moisture. That's how they wash away, so that's what's going to happen. And I don't have a roll of it here for some reason, but the Super Soft, which Soft Away, don't know what happened to it. Actually, there's an open roll of it. So looks the same as that, but it's the Soft Away, our most popular stabilizer. This is a tearaway. You can see that because I can tear it. People often say to us, how do I know if it's a tearaway? Just try and tear it. If you can't tear it, it's not a tearaway. Okay, so this is Soft Away. Now, what is really good about Soft Away is it's a combination of polyester and wood pulp fibers. So you get a little bit of longevity in the polyester and the easy tear of the wood pulp, and it just is beautiful to stitch on. It's very resilient, and it doesn't perforate as easy as a standard sort of viscose or polyester tearaway, which tends to, they perforate with the needle stitches and the whole design can fall out of the stabilizer. Soft Away, by far our biggest selling stabilizer, and the 20-inch by 10 yard roll is $17.95. So great specials on the stabilizers. Do pick up some of those while we're doing our Black Friday sales. So I'm talking quick. How are we going for time? Got a little bit more to go, so we'll keep at it.
Just before you move on,
yep.
Gary, I don't know if you want to show everyone the slap band.
Ah, yes, good idea. We don't have it on our page, but keeping control of your stabilizers, the slap bands are fantastic. So we have 2 options. We have the Echidna one here, like this. So all you do is just slap that around and that holds the whole thing together. And we also have the pack of Kimberbell ones, which is, I think there's 13 in the pack, and they're, now you're pushing me. I think they're about $39.95 for the pack of 13.
I think you're right.
Oh, I think I'm right.
I think you're right.
And these ones are bigger though. The Echidna ones are bigger, so they handle the bigger rolls better. So love the slap bands, and what a great use of that product. So we'll get rid of these. Now I do want to comment right now, if we can get that black quilt down there. Our very good friend Dawn Johnson, if anyone's ever sewn any of Dawn Johnson's designs, you'll know that she's just a great digitizer and lovely, does lovely work. And I'm going to have to put this under probably the big camera, the top camera. This is just an example of one of her design packs, and beautiful designs. This is done all with soft light metallic thread. Now it's good because they're open designs, and the soft light just absolutely makes this stand out beautifully. And I can't remember which colours she used, but it just looks sensational. So Dawn's designs, have a look at them. If you've bought any of Dawn's designs and you like them and you think you should have more, now's the best time ever. She has very graciously given us a 60% discount. 60% off all her designs online for download only. And that means some of these packs are down to like $7 or something a pack for her designs. That's incredibly cheap. And some of the smaller packs are even down to $3.95. So thank you, Dawn, and hope you're watching. Big hello to you, and great deal, 60% off Dawn's designs. So get into that. Throw that back down there. One of our most popular products this year has been our machine mats. I love watching the reviews and the Facebook comments on these guys. And a big shout out to Nicole, who did the artwork for this, because the artwork is stunning. Got a little echidnas running down here. It's a bit hard to see. Maybe this one would look better, the gloss. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Switch them around, turn them around. Yeah, that's better. Makes more sense. There's a little, I don't know, can we see it? Yeah, see the little echidnas running across the bottom of the desert there? Just sensational. These are really high quality machine mats. They've got a non-slip underneath. They're a neoprene on top. They're very resilient and perfect for your machine. They will protect the table that you've got your machine under, but they will also absorb a lot of that vibration that you get and that noise that resonates through certain tables. And I've been reading the comments, as I said, and gee whiz, it's been fantastic. Everybody loves them. 3 sizes, so you've got the small, which is for overlockers, and normally $19.95, but these are half price at the moment. So they're not going to be that forever, and get them while they're hot, because $9.95 for that one.
Yep.
The mid-size one, which is for your medium-sized machines, I guess, and this one is normally
$30 or
$29.95.
Yep.
So that's $15, and the big one, which will fit the Luminaires and the biggest of machines, is normally
$39.95.
So down to $20.
Oh, yep.
So 10, 15, and 20, just thereabouts. So great deal on the machine mats. Love them to pieces. And the artwork is sensational. Hey, you could use them for anything. They would be okay on the bar too, I reckon. I'm going to take some home now. Cindy will say, you're not putting that there. But we'll see. All right, what's next? Another question.
Will they fit the PR?
No, they're not designed. The PR has a different footprint. The PR is around about the actual feet are around about 55 or 50 to 55 by 55. You could put 2 under there, but they're not cut for the PR size, so sorry about that. Best deal we've ever had on this product, the hooping station kit. And again, if you go onto the website and read the reviews on the hooping stations, once you've had one of these, you will never be without it. Now, we design these guys. We sell them all over the world now. I'm just going to pull this. This is the small one. We'll move that over there. But the hooping station is all about giving you a fantastic ergonomic and easy to use hooping option. So if I grab I'll just quickly do this on a smallish kind of hoop. Let's get that one. The great thing about it is, and anyone who's hooped up anything tubular like a shirt or anything like that, you tend to chase your hoop all over the place. So if I was trying to hoop a shirt on this, and I should point out on this particular one here, they're 2-sided, so what you see here is the actual ladies or youth size, the smaller, the kind of mid-size, I guess. And if we turn it upside down, you've got the adult size or the adult male size, or just a big size, really. We'll go back this way. And what we can do now is we can put the part of the hoop that we want to hoop into down, and then we can take our stabilizer and we can use magnets. Now, of course, I can also put magnets in here around the corners to hold the hoop in place. And by doing that, we're not chasing the hoop. It's not going to move. That hoop can't go anywhere. I can then put my stabilizer down. In fact, I can use the 2 magnets at the top to hold my stabilizer in place. There it is. I can then take my shirt, and this is one of those really slippery shirts that goes everywhere. I would have marked where I want my center point for my design, but I can just put my shirt in place, and if I've let that hoop out far enough, which I'm probably doubtful I did, but I can just push my hoop into place here. I haven't undone my hoop far enough, so remember, if you can't push your frame in reasonably firmly, then your hoop is not opened up far enough. and you will score your fabric. So be very careful with that. So you don't want to force your hoop into position. And we're almost there. Never goes to plan. I should have gone a bit further. Yep, there it is. Whoops. Pull that out again. But you notice I'm not chasing my hoop around underneath. And this is probably the worst of the t-shirts to do, because, or the polos, because it is so slippery. And that's in place. And then I can just move that up, release that. I'm perfectly hooped underneath. My stabilizer is perfectly flat. My shirt is hooped, and I haven't chased that around the table for the last 10 minutes. And then got it hooped and realised I've done it wrong, and rehoop it again. So fantastic for that. And then of course, any big surfaces or any big articles like towels, etc., you've got a beautiful workspace here to work on. And if you want to do more intricate things like kids, let's move that one away, Alec. You've got little onesies or kids t-shirts, you've got the small size here as well. So this one flips around to be a sleeve size, as well as like a small child size, and also great for the embroidered buddies or cubbies and that sort of thing, because they are just impossible to hoop without one of these. So each set comes with 12 magnets, but the good thing is with these guys is for the first time ever we have got the set of 2. That's the 4 sizes in total, so 2 different units with each double-sided. We have got that down to $2.99, and there is some logic, method to our madness there. We have another container of these arriving very early in the new year. So when we just received a delayed container only about a couple of months ago. So that's just going to squeeze us up a bit. So that's a great deal at $2.99. And individually you can buy them for the small ones $119 and the larger one is $209. So the kit is actually a great buy. So they're one of our better Black Friday deals for sure. So I'll pass that over there. Don't need that anymore. Thanks, Alec. Handy having you here, Alec. That's really good. Because he's going to do the next Cuppa Chat, right? I'm going to be out. I'm going to be out travelling Australia. I just did our trip out to Uluru. Actually, did you have that little little shot of Cindy and I at Uluru? Where were we there? Oh, there's me. I was driving out to Uluru at that stage. That's 𝗟𝗄𝗆 on my shoulder. We had a 4-week trip out there. Had a great time, and can honestly say if you haven't been out and done that Uluru Kings Canyon trek, it was just magnificent. Really, really loved it. And I'm just sorry I didn't get as many photos with our little mascot as I should have, because every time we got to a special place to take a photo, we realised we'd left 𝗟𝗆 in the car. So anyway, my bad. Okay, so Dawn Johnson's machine mats, hooping stations, best deal ever. Quickly talk about TNC needles. So we've got a great deal on TNC needles. Is that 40% off as well?
40% off, yep.
40% off all the TNC needles.
Domestic TNC needles.
Domestic TNC needles, so they're the flat back needles.
Yep.
TNC needles, let me just grab this pack will do. A lot of our packs are 10 packs, and they're excellent value already. So you take 40% off them, they're just stunning value. But we also now have in the embroidery needles for TNC, we've had it for a while, but we've got the ceramic coated needles. There's a good article on our website about coatings on needles and also about needle selection. So it's on our landing page, you can link to that. TNC are made in Taiwan. They're a very high quality needle. All their needles, all their standard needles are chrome plated, which is a better coating than a nickel plating. Chrome gives you, they're a bit less friction, if you like. That's the best way to put it. And they're a bit harder. And the ceramic coating is even less friction again and a harder needle. So it actually gives you better results. So embroidery needles, they're both great, but the ceramic coating is fantastic. Great range of sizes, all the different styles you need, from stretch through to quilting and denim and leather point needles and all the various things. So 40% off, grab them while they're there. That's a terrific buy. Another little great product that is on sale, I think 40% off again.
40% off, yeah.
My favourite little scissors, the little red handle curved scissors. Everybody raves about these guys, so they're down to $5.95.
$5.95, yep.
Just get a couple. Like you never have enough scissors, right? And someone will steal them on you and use them.
Almost every order that I packed this week
had the red handle scissors in them. Yeah, definitely get some. Almost at the end. Great deal on the Brother SDX 2200 scan and cut machine. Now I'm just going to put the box up here. There's videos on our website, you can get all the information, but I'm just going to explain this just briefly. The new model has come out, so there's the SDX 2250, which is, how much are they? Are they $1,100 odd, I think?
Yeah, $1,100.
Replace the SDX 2200. The difference between the two machines is primarily that the new model now comes with the rotary blade kit. Now, forever and a day, cutting machines have been somewhat used to try and cut fabric, and typically they are just a blade that drags through and cuts fabric, and it does it with mixed results. The new product, the rotary blade kit, is like taking an alpha cutter and shrinking it down to a little tiny blade, and instead of dragging a blade through the fabric, it actually cuts with a rotary blade. Now, it's absolutely amazing. It has turned the whole fabric cutting option on these cutting machines into something that everybody wants to do, and because it's so easy. So the new model comes with this included. We've got a run out on the previous model. It's down to $699. And if you add one of these, which are about $80 or $90,
about $90, yep.
The rotary blade kit, because you can add this to this machine, you've got, for all intents and purposes, the same machine. The main difference is, the only other main difference is that the newer model does have direct communication access with the 𝗟𝗪 and the Luminaire machines. Yep. So you can still do that via USB. It's not the end of the world, but this is a great buy. I think we've got about 50 or 60 of these left, and at $699. Never had them at that price before. Yep. Same machine, same new warranties. Add the rotary blade kit, and you've got pretty much the same machine. So if you've been thinking of a cutting machine, definitely would recommend that as a great buy. Call us if you have any questions on that too. So, and the last little machine I wanted to quickly mention was this guy I got sitting beside me here, the NV50S. This is an exclusive Echidna model, and this is a great little sewing machine, ideal as a second machine, a travel machine. If you're a caravaner and you want to have a decent sewing machine in your caravan, this is the guy. It's strong, powerful, it's got 50 stitches, drop-in bobbin, auto needle threader, full power at any speed because it is electronically controlled, and it's been, we've had it for $5.99 with a bonus kit on it, but right now we're doing it at $4.99 with the same bonus kit. So it's going to have, I think it has the extension table too, which
yes,
there's one down there actually. Look at that. So it comes with, the bonus kit comes with the extension table that slips on the side here if I pull this across. So that will go onto the machine like that. I won't take it off and fit it on, but it sits there and gives you a lovely wide surface area. And it will also come with a set of 13 extra attachments on top of what's in the machine. So you're going to get a whole raft of different feet. It's going to have cording feet, zipper feet, roller feet, quarter-inch feet. It's all on the website. It's an amazing little kit, and that comes with it, as well as a pack of 5 different types of needles, 5 different styles of needles, 5 packs there. Some of our little red handle scissors. It's worth it for that alone. And a couple of spools of Rasant thread are already pre-packaged with it as well. And what else we got? Oh, and a tape measure. That whole kit we've got with the machine, we've got down to $4.99 at the moment for a limited time. Or you can get the machine only without the bonuses for $4.49. But to be honest, why would you? The bonus kit is worth every cent of it. So that's an exclusive Echidna model, 5-year brother electronics warranty. Just beautiful, quiet machine. Great for people who are learning to sew as well, because it is so easy to use. And as I mentioned before, it will work with that heavy thread, Alex. So if you put a size 90 needle in here, 90 jeans needle, you can sew some heavy stuff with it, and it'll handle it in a breeze. So
would you use the needle threader with it?
I did actually. No, it worked fine. The needle threader worked fine with that thread, as long as you got the right size needle in there. So, and again, if ever you have questions about any of this, we're just a phone call away. Just ask us. And aside from that, as far as all the other great machines that we have available, we've got great deals on them. As I mentioned earlier, it's just a matter of talking to us and saying, hey, this is what I do, this is what I want, this is what I want to spend, and we'll just make it happen for you. We're really good at that. Okay, I think I'm just about done. Yep. I will mention one other thing. I won't show it, but we did recently solve a problem on the 𝗟𝗶𝗴𝗴 bias. Actually, I haven't got the product in here. I didn't bring it in with me. But we've got a retrofit product for the 𝗟𝗶𝗴𝗴 bias maker. So if you have bought one of these, guys, and I know lots have, that's the bias maker. They're great products, we love them to pieces, but we have had a lot of people report on the largest tip on these, that's the 1 1/4 inch tip. It's hard to get your binding through it when you've got potentially a seam in the binder, in the bias, because it just doesn't flow, it gets caught. We've now made our own replaceable part to fix that. So if you bought one of these from us, we're happy to get that to you, supply it at no charge. So just contact us. If you bought one elsewhere, we'll happily sell you one and ship it to you. But now when we sell one of these, we're actually providing that retrofit part. And we did go back to 𝗟𝗶licity. They felt that, or the distributor for 𝗟𝗶licity, they felt it was not an issue, but we know it was, so we went about fixing it. And we now have that part available. It's on our website, I think, Nicole, it's up there now. And if someone was searching for that, what would they search for? I think we got it on our landing page anyway. I think it is on the landing page.
Replacement wedge.
Replacement wedge. So if you have a bias maker, we can help you get that large one working again. All right. Well, that's about an hour and a half. That's about what I was planning to do. Got a question there?
We only have one other question. So we just want to know, are there any magnetic hoops for the 𝗀𝗄𝗺 machines?
Good question. Does the new 5x7?
I'd have to confirm.
We would have to confirm that. So there is a 5x7 slide-on magnetic hoop, and
because Brother released an update when they come out. And I have to check if that was.
We'll have to confirm that. So if we can get the details there, we'll come back to you on that. And yeah, I don't know offhand. I don't know, but we will find out and put it on the website, probably on that hoop listing, 5x7 magnetic hoop. If it fits the 𝗀𝗄𝗺, we probably would have already put it on there, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know. I'll find out. I hate it when I get a question I can't answer. Anyway, look, with all that said, hope you've had some fun this morning. I hope we've covered lots of stuff for you. As always, if you have questions.
I do have one request.
We have a request?
The Hemingworth competition.
Oh, yes, yes. So we do have a Hemingworth competition going at the moment, and that is what to do with all your old spill caps. And so we've got a few samples here. This is Hemingworth spill caps that have been turned into a Christmas decoration, and another one with a Christmas decoration. And I know we've got some of these hanging on our tree outside with light, LED lights up through them. And so the competition was see who could come up with the best idea for using the Hemingworth clear spools, because they're a great little product. I mean, my favourite is to use them for shots, but anyway, that's another story. And there's another one there. So kind of a bit of mylar in the. It's hard to see on the camera, but there's some mylar been put up in there to give it a bit of a glisten. And we've got a embroidered lace wing there, and you can imagine putting a little LED light up in the middle there. It kind of looks really cool on the Christmas tree. So very clever ideas. We're waiting to see what people can work out to do with the spool caps. And we have a prize for that. So I think we've got 3 $50 gift vouchers for the 3 most innovative ideas. So please make sure you enter that. And if there's no other questions, I think we're pretty much done for the morning. Hope you had a great time. Now look, we probably won't have another virtual. I don't think we've got one scheduled before Christmas. We've got a pretty hectic run into Christmas, but we'd just like to take this opportunity to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we'll obviously be back on deck doing all this sort of stuff in the new year and more. And as always, if you have questions about anything to do with sewing, embroidery or crafting and need help, we are here to help you. And we don't care where you bought your machine from. You don't have to purchase from us to ask for our help. We'll always help you regardless. That's what we do. And I guess that's about it. So thank you, Alec. Hope you'll be ready to do the next one by yourself now if I'm out travelling around Australia maybe. But otherwise, until next time, happy sewing, happy embroidering, happy crafting. And we'll talk again soon, and Merry Christmas. Cheers.